Hal's office. Hal is reading a script. The door is open. Jennifer approaches.
Professor Falcon?
Jennifer Hartnett. Welcome to Demeter U. But it's Mr. Falcon. Better yet, Hal.
Oh, sorry. I just wanted to thank you for your help with the audition. I was so surprised and thrilled when I got the letter of acceptance. I mean, I was so nervous. You were so, encouraging. Thank you.
No need to thank me. Acting is one of the toughest things a person can do. To put yourself out there like that, at the same time inhabiting the life of a character, another person, really, observing and living at the same time. You know, I thought your choice of monologue was bold.
Thank you.
I couldn't believe you wrote it. Your skill as a writer will only add to your ability as an actor, and vice versa. I've read the book since you left. Judith, your portrayal was spot on. Sensual, strong, confident, heroic. It was bold, playing a more mature character. You're what, 18? 19?
18, last month.
And the use of a sword, particularly since you aren't trained in combat, am I right?
Oh, sorry. You could tell? Of course you could. Actually, my younger brother always liked to play Luke Skywalker. That meant that I was Darth Vader. We wrote our own scripts. Luke, I am your fathead. I was afraid that I would look like a fool at the audition, but I so love the character, Judith.
Please, don't apologize. It's always about stretching ourselves, constantly learning. We'll have several classes on combat. You'll be a fucking ninja. Oh, sorry, I hope my language doesn't offend you.
No, not at all.
Good. Because some of the material we'll be doing can get pretty rough. As I recall, you got into theater late.
Not till my sophomore year, after I really needed it.
Actually, that's good. That means you didn't learn the bad habits of child actors. You're very talented, by the way.
Thank you.
No, just an observation. You wouldn't be in this program if you weren't. Hey, want to try something? I'm thinking about using this for our initial workshop. Do you have time?
To read?
Sure. With me? Just a scene or two?
I'd love to.
My friend wrote this, so it's something nobody knows. You know how theater geeks are. I try to test their cold read. Improv with some obscure play from whatever, but no matter what, somebody knows it by heart. I don't need to see that. So this is about, Artemisia Gentileschi. I don't know much about her. Some female painter in the 1600s or something. My friend says she's really become an icon of the women's liberation movement.
Really? Interesting.
Right? So, here's the setup. This Tassi guy, Agostino, has a commission to paint some mural or fresco or something for some big deal cardinal. Maybe even the Pope himself. He's engaged her, Artemisia's father, to help him. She's like 17 or 18. She's a very talented artist herself. He's hitting her up. She's flattered, but, well, you'll see. The play is set around a trial between Artemisia's father and this Agostino. Prologue is her opening testimony to the court. You're her. I'm court. Ready?
Sure. I mean, okay.
The witness will please tell the court her name.
Artemisia Gentileschi. Sorry. Gentileschi.
Not to worry, we'll have our writer tell us. That's why we have them. You swear before God that the testimony you are about to give us is the truth?
I do swear. So swear.
Do you know why, or can you imagine the reason you are being questioned?
I imagine your lordship wants to question me because my father has imprisoned our tenant named Tuzia and a certain Agostino Tassi.
Who is your father?
Signor Orazio Gentileschi. Orazio Gentileschi, the painter.
How do you know this Tassi, and under what circumstances did you meet him?
Signor Tassi and my father worked together on a mural at Corte Sabella. My father asked me to model for it.
Signora Artemisia, it is a pleasure to finally meet you.
Signor Tassi, the pleasure is mine. I've been admiring your work.
And I, you?
You've seen my work?
Your painting? No. But Signora, I am sorry to inform you that your father is a sinner.
My father?
Oh, the worst kind. He speaks constantly of your skill. I am trying to create a masterpiece, and all he can do is go on and on about your work.
You think he's lying? But, Signor Tassi, you said you haven't seen my work.
I didn't say he was lying. I said he was a sinner, and I am sure he will burn in hell.
You have condemned him to hell because he speaks well of my work?
No, of course not. He will burn in hell because he never once mentioned how ravishingly beautiful you are. And that, my dear, is a sin of omission. And I know that your work, were it as magnificent as Michelangelo's, Raphael's, even my own, could not hold a candle to your beauty.
But you know nothing of my painting.
Your painting. Well, if I must, what are you painting now?
Signor Tassi, I wouldn't want to tax your attention.
No, forgive me. I am interested in all that you do.
Truly?
In all that you do.
Saint Cecilia.
Cecilia! Let me guess. Exquisite. Playing the lute, no doubt. Do you? Play? Because with these, he looks at her breasts. Sorry, stage direction. You're not embarrassed, I hope.
Oh, no, I was responding as I thought she would have. I'm good.
Good. Because with these, it would be a pity if you did.
I don't. And I'm not impressed with your powers of divination. Cecilia with a lute is a common motif, as you well know.
Too common. Next you'll paint the Madonna.
I won't.
You try that a little more softly. She thinks she's got him here. It doesn't need to be emphatic. I think she's actually being a little coy.
I won't.
Good. You're also very sinful, lying like that. But never mind. When you do, you will prove me right, and then you'll be obliged to fall to your knees and confess, and I will give you your penance. And believe me, it will go hard on you.
But, Signor Tassi, I have already painted the Madonna.
Of course you have. And you'll paint it again and again, because it is a very proper subject for a very proper young lady of budding talent and limited artistic education.
I've studied in my father's studio for years.
Let's break here for a second.
Oh.
She's young. How self-assured is she? How proud? Does she know he's trying to get into her pants? How does she feel?
Do we know what her experience has been?
No, not at this time. But that's a choice you'll have to make.
I think she would be a little afraid, nervous.
And?
Flattered? I mean, if he's this great artist, and if he's taking interest in her, maybe not just her, but her work, too.
Exactly. This is a woman who feels imprisoned by convention, by society. She's trying to break free, to loosen the corset that strangled so many women of that era. To run in the streets naked and screaming, I am here! I am a great artist! Let's pick it up right there. Your father is a good painter, but his skills are not suited for a talented and beautiful student. He can't possibly develop your obvious assets. He has no studio to speak of. His use of perspective is immature at best. You're sure to learn his bad habits, and I am uniquely qualified to teach you everything you need to know, including the best of bad habits.
I know your reputation. I'm sure you can.
I know your financial state. You've also had a very limited access to models.
Oh, we have Francesco.
That fellow. Loathsome. I don't know why you keep him.
Francesco?
I really shouldn't be the one to tell you, but he's been saying things about you.
What things?
Try that again. She's really concerned about this. In those days, a woman's reputation was her life.
What things?
Modesty forbids that I repeat them, and I am sure, at least I trust, that they are not true. I gave him a good rap when he opened his mouth in front of me, but alas, I don't know that it will help, particularly if you are naughty and give in to carnal desires.
I assure you I am not naughty.
Shame on you. Lying again. Every young woman is, eventually.
You're trying to shock me.
No, to provoke you, to discover your hidden assets, to begin your tutelage. I'm also sure you have never worked with male models.
And if I were your student, I would be able to do this?
Better. I would serve as your model myself.
Oh.
So, it's settled then?
No, not at all. You would take me on as an apprentice.
Take you on? Of course. Isn't that what I just suggested?
And I would study with your other apprentices.
Oh, no. After hours, when I could give you my complete attention.
I thought as much. Thank you for your generous proposal. I would love to study with you, but you know I can't under these conditions.
Because it wouldn't be respectable. Great art and artists are not respectable. If you're worried that you should paint pictures of respectable zucchinis and contessas, not that there's a difference. However, as my student, commissions, very important, lucrative commissions, would be available to you. But I would first have to evaluate your qualifications as a painter, of course.
Of course.
So, tell me about your Madonna. What is the relationship with the child?
She's nurturing.
Nurturing? Is her breast exposed?
Yes.
Did you use a model? Oh, Jesus. Not a woman that lives with you. You might as well have used a zucchini.
A mirror.
So, it is your breast. Excellent. I'd love to see it. I can come by this afternoon. You can give me a private viewing.
When you next visit my father before your nocturnal festivities, I would be honored to show you my paintings. You will see my father is no sinner.
Oh, believe me. I know your father is a sinner, regardless of the quality of your work. No, he would only interfere with my appreciation of your painting. And I'm sure you could benefit from my touch. For example, I am certain that you have no landscape or architecture in your Madonna. Am I correct? See? This is why you need me. The very best Madonnas, Raphael, Titian, Da Vinci, are composed with both. I can teach you to be one of the best. In fact, we should visit these. We could stay with the Grand Duke of Tuscany, Venice, de Medici and Florence, the courts of Spain, France.
Signor Tassi, you are proposing
To give you the world. To make you a great artist.
respectively.
There's that word again. It will imprison you. Or should I say, keep you in prison. You know, I'm right. You can't study in a school or with a proper teacher. You're never even allowed to go out.
I do.
You're always with that woman. In fact, I saw you quite early in the morning, just 2 days ago. Indecent.
We were going to church.
Oh, what a coincidence. I was just coming from church.
Please. I know that you and Signor Cosimo frequently go out late with my father. I'm certain you don't spend the night in prayer, and I'm equally certain you don't go there at the end of the night for absolution.
There you are wrong. I worship constantly at the altar of beauty, where you would be a goddess.
You'll have to fight with Tucia for my soul.
And I challenge her to a duel.
You would lose. She constantly, fiercely encourages me to become a nun.
A nun? What a waste! Although I'm sure your prayers are passionate, otherwise why would you be out so early?
Oh, you think I go to pray?
Oh. You were coming from Cantarelli Chapel then, where you prostrated yourself at the altar of St. Michelangelo, Mirici di Caravaggio, and you were duly inspired by the inspiration of St. Matthew.
I am.
Caravaggio, the forbidden fruit. In more ways than one. You and every other swooning maiden in Rome.
I am not a swooning maiden.
Oh, I know. You are an artist who swoons for the church's vulgar attempt to bring religion to the garlic-infused, oil-soaked Catholics.
Vulgar?
Vulgar. Our beloved St. Matthew with bare feet. Even for this liberated church, that's going too far.
But this is the 17th century.
Oh, yes, the modern era. But I'm not through. The angel positively cuddled up to our horny St. Matthew. Here, you're a model. You be St. Matthew.
Signor Tassi.
You see? Positively lewd. An old goat of a cleric grasping at a young boy. I can only guess what he has sticking out under his furs.
Now you're trying to shock me.
I confess, I am. The greatest sin of all, it is so dark.
That's what makes it so modern.
What? To make a church even more morbid than it already is?
No. I love how he uses the gloom instead of fighting against it.
You would eradicate shadows by blowing out the candle? His vulgar art was merely a reflection of his vulgar life. Caravaggio was an unstable and violent character who will be forgotten in a generation. Or, if remembered at all, it will be as a drunken hack. Oh, enter Ckazmer. We can stop there. So, what do you think? The play, the scene.
I mean, I'm not a playwright.
No, but playwrights are notoriously bad critics. They read with green eyes of disdain or envy, often both. Actors are the only beings qualified to judge a play. They don't absolutely need to live it. No audience will want to see it.
Well, the dialogue flows well. The characters are clear, distinct. Their motivations are...
Blah, blah, blah. Middle school blather.
I like her spirit.
Yes, exactly. He's a snake, and she's trying to fend him off, but...
But she wants his, embrace? At least artistically. Maybe more.
Wow, yes!
I guess it's not really about the play, but...
But?
Did they carry on like that? Flirt like that at that time?
In Rome? The city of Ovid? Of amores? To paraphrase the great thespian Homer Simpson, love, the cause of and cure for all of life's problems. You were great, by the way.
Really? Thank you. I was so nervous.
We can't really live our best, and we can't really give our best unless we are. Listen, I've got to get to a meeting. Hey, you know what? Let me get the author in here next time. You two should meet.
Really?
Really.
Okay. Okay, thanks.
No. Thank you.
Miriam's office. Jennifer approaches.
Dr. Grant, are you busy?
Oh God, yes. Putting together the agenda for the departmental meeting. Save me, please. Miss Hartnett, right? First year?
Yes.
How can I help you, Miss Hartnett?
Can I ask you a question?
Oh, please sit down. I love questions, particularly when they distract me from my administrative responsibilities.
Well, you may cover it next week, and I've tried to research it.
Oh, research. I am intrigued. What is it?
In the book of Judith, the phrase, "And Holofernes took great delight in her."
Right to the heart of it. I particularly love questions that are both distracting and intelligent. What is it?
Well, I guess I mean, did he?
Well, as a matter of fact, we'll be covering this.
Oh, sorry.
No, don't apologize. Well, why do you focus on that line in particular?
Well, Judith, she was this model of, faith, morality, right? And I know a lot depended on her, but when she went into the Assyrian camp, well, I know she intended to slay him, the Assyrian general, but was she planning on seducing him? And if she did, if he did take great delight in her, well, does the end justify the means?
Well, you're not a Talmudic scholar in a Demeter student's body by any chance, are you? Because that is a question worthy of scholarship. So let's see. From the perspective of the saving of the Jews, it's irrelevant. That's a social, political, strategic issue. She did what she had to do. But from the perspective of a personal or religious morality, it is an essential question, the essential question. So, what have you got?
Well, so I wondered, is it like asking if a Venus flytrap is immoral?
Interesting analogy. Only, in Judith's case, does that work? Because for the flytrap, it's simple. Eat and live, don't eat and die. What would that mean to Judith?
Well, I guess if the flytrap were morally forbidden to seduce the fly, but if she doesn't, the fly will destroy her, her children, her entire culture?
Exactly. You might want to take that as the topic for your paper.
I thought about that, but I mean, if you have time.
Absolutely.
Well, I wondered if he did take delight in her, and if she became pregnant with his child.
Well, there's a question I haven't heard before. Well, let's think about it. I mean, emotionally, it's got to be a quite different state than if a person is attacked and raped. The child would be a living symbol of the brutality, the trauma. But in Judith's case, the child would be what? A living symbol of her courage? Her people's triumph? How would you imagine she would feel, Judith?
I'm not sure how she would feel, but I wonder,
Yes?
I think she would remarry quickly and have a premature birth.
Jennifer, will you ask that question in class next week?
I don't know if I mean, there's a lot of upperclassmen, women in there.
Really, it is a good group and they will love that question, trust me.
Oh, okay, sure.
Did you know about her before this class?
I did. I even used her as an audition piece.
Oh, a drama student.
Yeah, I mean, I know it's not history or women's studies.
Oh, no, don't apologize. It was my undergraduate major. I loved it. I still do. It's a vehicle for telling many truths.
You don't act now?
No.
Are you ever sorry you gave it up?
Sorry? Yes, but no. When our daughter was born, well, the theater schedule isn't particularly conducive to bath book and bedtime and other things.
No, I guess not. How old is she now? Your daughter?
I'm sorry, I probably shouldn't have brought that up.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to.
No, it's not you. She died when she was an infant.
I'm sorry. I didn't, I mean,
Jennifer, please, it happened. You did nothing wrong. Really, it's a great department. Many fine actors have learned their craft there.
Dr. Grant, my mother.
You don't have to.
I know. She died when I was 13. I think that's why I got into acting. I was so lost. My counselor suggested it. I found out that I could forget. I could feel something else, be in someone else's life for a little while, anyhow.
I'm sorry.
No, well, it's okay. Now.
How's it going here?
Good, really. I love it. Do you know Mr. Falcon?
The drama guy? I haven't met him yet. He's from Europa College, I think. I know the department was thrilled to get him.
Oh, his friend is writing a play about this woman painter, like in the 17th century. Artemisia something?
Gentileschi?
Yes, that's it.
Really? A play about her?
I think he may want me to play the lead. No, I mean, I don't know. He hasn't even decided if he's going to put it up. But we read a scene and he's bringing the author in to meet me.
Jennifer, that's wonderful. Well, I will definitely want to know how that's going. You know, interesting coincidence, she used Judith as the subject of her greatest work. Here. Judith slaying Holofernes.
Wow, that's so powerful.
She was a wonderful artist and person. Do you know her story?
I don't. They've asked me not to research it yet. They want to see how I approach the script cold.
Interesting, I can see that. Well, I can tell you that the subject of many of her works were men abusing women and of women's acts of revenge. This Judith is one of them. You might want to check her out. And please let me know how the readings go.
I definitely will. But sorry, I have to get to the studio.
Yeah, wonderful for you, but for me it means back to this paperwork. See you in class.
Thank you, Dr. Grant.
My pleasure, Miss Hartnett. Truly.
The studio, Hal and Quentin are dueling.
A touch, I do confess.
They remove their fencing masks.
Oh, hey, Jennifer. Thanks for coming. Jennifer Hartnett, Quentin Congreve, playwright extraordinaire, fencer,
Please, one hit does not a match make.
Mr. Congreve, I am so excited to meet you.
The pleasure is mine, Jennifer, but please call me Quentin, or Q.
Oh, okay.
Hal, this is our Artemisia?
Quentin, let's not get anybody's hopes up. I haven't even decided if we'll produce this.
Just a formality, I trust.
Hold your jets, buddy. Even if we do, we'll still have to hold auditions. Jennifer, you'll have to forgive a playwright's enthusiasm. Q would be thrilled if 3 alley cats agreed to read his work on a garbage can to an audience of 4 rats and a pigeon. 2 of them dead.
He's not completely exaggerating, but Hal, you like what you've seen so far. Otherwise, you wouldn't have asked me to meet Jennifer here. So what do you think?
You want my opinion about the play?
Sure, that's how I work, collaboratively. Hal tells me that you're very perceptive.
Oh, I mean, she's young, flattered by his attention. He's obviously, I mean, if he hired her father, he must be good, right? But he's like a cat playing with a mouse, and she's kind of trapped. She wants his attention, but she's wary.
Exactly. Anything else?
No, I'm just so happy to be reading this. It's really interesting.
It really is. I only hope I can do it justice.
If this little love fest is over, I'd like to continue with the reading. Quentin, let's pick up from the first scene when Ckazmer enters.
Cosimo. Quite a piece of work.
If you do say so yourself. And who better to read him than Quentin Congreve? Jennifer, let's start on page 21. Let's see here. No, I love.
No. I love how he uses the gloom instead of fighting against it.
You would eradicate shadows by blowing out the candle? Bah! Etc., etc. Or if remembered at all, it will be as a drunken hack.
Ta-da! Enter Cosimo! A drunken hack. I hope, Signor Tassi, that you are not referring to me, because that would not be good for your health or your spiritual well-being?
Signor Quarley, when it comes to my spiritual well-being, I have little to profit from you. When it comes to my health, I have little to fear from you.
Really? Bread on your table isn't essential for your health and spirit?
I earn my bread through my genius, and while we were not discussing you, it is true the incantation of one spirit may result in the unwanted apparition of another, far more malevolent.
Oh my, Tassi, the great conjurer, I am trembling. And you would be Signora Artemisia Gentileschi. Your reputation does you injustice.
My reputation?
As a great beauty.
Signora Gentileschi, prepare yourself for a flood of, well, modesty forbids I identify the substance that is Signor Cosimo Quarley. And Signor Quarley, to your chagrin, the world is not always discussing you. We were talking about Michelangelo Merisi.
The greatly indecent, and now greatly deceased, de Caravaggio. A foul and rotten brawler and drunkard, yes. But a hack? You wish you had his talent.
I have more than enough talent. I wish I had his commissions.
Perhaps if you had his talent. You almost had the blade of his sword.
I encountered him a few years ago. He threatened to fry my balls in oil.
And would have if I hadn't assured him that they would provide only an antipasto. And that I would force him to complete your fresco. That deterred him.
You begged me not to skewer the bastard.
Oh, Shebit, you wouldn't even be allowed to carry that thing without my intercession.
I do it only to protect you.
The only protection I need is from your laziness. As for Caravaggio, you're fortunate he was forced to flee after killing Tommasino. They had a go over a prostitute. Melandroni, you remember her, Tassi. In fact, didn't you promise to marry her?
Not true. But good thing she wasn't hurt. It would have been a waste of a good prostitute.
It's fortunate for you that the fever got to him before he got to you.
I repeat, ha!
It was sad.
Sad. Oh, joy. Now we will discover the true heart of Cosimo Quarley.
No. Very sad. After all the trouble I had arranging a pardon for him from the most reverent and most art-loving Cardinal Borghese, Caravaggio dies. Requiescat in pace.
You were friends?
Don't be ridiculous. But since he no longer requires a pardon, I don't require a painting. Oh, the power of his work.
The vulgarity.
You're not completely wrong, of course, but still very powerful. He was bringing three, two for Borghese and one for me. One of them, the incredulity of St. Thomas, has Christ absolutely forcing Thomas the Doubter's painting into his wound. Here, let me
Oh, Signor Quarley.
He lifts his shirt and attempts to place her finger in his socket.
Oh, so sensitive for a artist. But the best one? David with the head of Goliath, a masterpiece and quite clever. David, a handsome young man, of course, is hoisting Caravaggio's own head as the bloody head of Goliath.
I have to admit, that was clever.
Why clever?
You see, my dear, there was a bounty on Caravaggio's head. Caravaggio thought to deliver it himself as part of the painting and claim the reward from the rapacious, but oh so discerning Borghese.
Well, nec spe, nec metu.
Without hope, without fear?
His motto, carved on the blade of his dagger. And now, without life.
You know, his entire career he did not paint one single female nude. But he did so love those full-lipped, languorous boys. Interesting. One looks just like you.
Cosimo, you are so right. The sacrifice of Isaac, what year was that?
1603.
And Signora Gentileschi, you would have been what? 10 years old? boy does resemble you. Of course, I won't know for certain until you model for me.
I'm sure you have many eager models. Melandroni, perhaps.
None as alluring as you. Besides, as a fellow artist. Well, you're certainly not a fellow. You would understand exactly what I want.
Oh, my dear Senora Gentileschi, be careful of the company you keep. You will get a bad reputation. You've no business associating with painters, particularly house painters. You want a man who has power, who can bring all of Rome, the entire world, to worship at your ever so beautiful feet. Oh, he didn't promise you his assistance, did he? Because he has none to promise, except through me. And why buy a cut of meat, a poor cut at that, when you can have the whole cow? A bull, in this case, which means herds of cows, which I would gladly lay at your exquisite feet.
You would lay a herd of cows at my feet?
Metaphorically speaking, unless you would prefer the actual cows. I can do that as well.
You haven't seen my work.
That's irrelevant. If you own a paintbrush, I can get you a commission. Look what I've done for Agostino here. In fact, if you haven't a paintbrush, I can supply one. A warning, stage direction, he attempts to put her hand on his penis. You got this. Take a moment if you need to.
Signor Corley.
Good. Oh, I'm sharp. Please don't play coy with me. Everyone knows your reputation.
My father will hear of this outrage.
Cosimo.
That would not be good for your father. He owes Tassi. Tassi owes me. Your father would find himself in jail again.
Cosimo, leave us.
You be quiet, you, unless you want those charges reinstated.
Please.
All right. This is your play for now. And you, I know you've given it to so many already, you might as well give it to him.
And on that note, exit Cosimo. He's a real pig.
Right?
Research must have been quite taxing, looking in a mirror for so long.
Funny. But consider the time and place. This is not 21st century America, but it is a good place to start. You're okay with this material?
Absolutely.
Good. Excellent work, by the way. Hal, we'll need a male forestiatesi, a notary, which, as far as I can determine, is another word for a procurer, which I believe is another word for a go-between, which I know for certain is another name for a pimp.
I saw that. I have someone in mind.
Meanwhile, Jennifer, here's the next scene. Artemisia Gentileschi, a sort of housekeeper, surrogate mother. Why don't you look it over?
But Jennifer, please, remember, even if we do this play, I will need to hold auditions.
Really, that's fine. I'm just so happy to be a part of this.
Great. Why don't we all get together here again on Friday evening, say 6?
Great.
Miriam's office. The door is open. Miriam is writing. Jennifer knocks and enters.
So how's our Artemisia doing?
Great. They're talking about producing it, maybe.
That's great. Would you be in it?
Mr. Falcon says there would be auditions, but they seem to like me.
And why wouldn't they?
I have a scene from the writer. I had to practically swear on the Bible that I wouldn't let anyone else see it.
Pulitzer Prize stuff, huh?
Really?
Oh, all writers think that's what they have. Distracts them from fretting about the Nobel Prize.
Would you... I wonder if you would read it with me.
Me? Sure, it'll be fun. Especially since it means breaking the rules. Let's have a look at this work of art. LaMaestra by Quentin Congreve. A male writing a play about Artemisia Gentileschi?
I was wondering about that, but the male characters are very strong.
Oh, I'm sure they are. So, studio. Tuzia is sitting, Artemisia is preparing to paint. Tuzia. Temmie, paint fast. I can only sit for an hour. Who is this Tuzia?
Q, the playwright, said she was Artemisia's housekeeper or stepmother or something.
Someone to look after her?
I guess.
Oh, that didn't work out too well.
Oh?
No, we'll leave that for now. I don't want to break all the rules at once. What masterpiece am I today?
Saint Cecilia. Oh, she exits and returns with a lute. I guess we'll improvise that.
Well, I imagine this Tuzia does not play.
Would she?
Well, it wouldn't be typical of a commoner during the Baroque.
She takes a guitar out of the cabinet.
This would be Tuzia.
She strums poorly.
However, I play.
She plays the Italian. She plays Italian lute music.
And then there's this. Wake up, Maggie, I think I got something to say to you. It's late.
Finish it.
No, let's do this scene.
Please?
No, another time.
Let's see.
She holds up scarves, checking the color, and places one on each of their heads.
Saint Cecilia, Roman, our virgin saint, patroness of music. Well, I am Roman and I was a virgin once, though I can't remember when. 2 out of 3 will have to do.
Tuzia, hold still, please.
Temmie, I don't know why I let you torture me so. This is so boring. Let's play a game. Pick a letter. G. If I were an animal, I would be a goat.
Nanny?
No. Balls no. For Billy. For once, I would do the budding. And for you, a B.
Billy goat.
No, we can't have 2 in the same room, especially with 2 beautiful women.
All right then, a bluebird. No, a butterfly. With great, beautiful, colorful wings so I can soar high and see the world.
And be seen by the world, no. But it may be better to be a bee to sting the world. Do you know this song? Matona mia cara, mi folore canzone. Well, this is an interesting choice to include a song at this point.
Oh, I YouTubed it. It's pretty and kind of funny.
It looks like a madrigal. Do you sing?
A little.
Well, shall we give it a go?
Sure.
Follow me. Matona mia cara, mi folore canzone. Matona mia cara, mi folore canzone. Cantar sotto finestra, lance bon compagnon. Dun dun dun, diddy dun 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 dun. Dun dun dun, diddy dun 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 dun.
My mother used to sing this to me. She changed some of the words though. She said I wasn't old enough to appreciate the original.
Temmie, I should respect your mother's wishes.
Tuzia.
Temmie.
Please.
Lord, forgive me for contributing to the damnation of your innocent soul. If by no other way than by posing as a versifying, wooing, Italian language butchering German swordsman. I wonder if such a beast even exists. Matona mia cara, crazy for you is my song. Matona mia cara, crazy for you is my song. To your stinking blossom like a bee I am drawn. Dun dun dun, diddy dun 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 dun, dun dun dun, diddy dun 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 dun. Listen to me, mine piggy, my squealing is so strong. Listen to me, mine piggy, my squealing is so strong. Because I love you heartily, like your pot will love my prawn. Dun dun dun, diddy dun 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 dun, dun dun dun, diddy dun 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 dun. If you richly, I'll give you my baton. If you will love me richly, I'll give you my baton. Me fika until dawn, a bee, your flower upon. Dun dun dun, diddly dun 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 dun, dun dun dun, diddly dun 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 dun, dun 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 dun. Oh, my dear, why are you crying? I know I don't sing well, but is it that bad?
Oh, no, my dear Tuzia, you sing beautifully. It's just that I miss her. So. Oh, Tuzia embraces her?
I'm so sorry.
I often wonder how it would have been if she had lived.
Oh, we can never know these things, but better, no?
I guess. I mean, yes, but
What?
she didn't want me to paint. My father would sneak me into his studio. He'd say, "Let the sweepers sweep, you're ours." He made painting look so graceful, like a dance. When he went to Florence, she locked the studio. I picked the lock. She was angry, but I painted a violet for her, a mother's love. She embraced me and said I could paint, but only if my chores were done and I looked after my brothers. One afternoon, I was in the studio and I heard a crash. I thought Stefano had fallen trying to reach the cake. I ran into the kitchen and she was on the floor. I sent Stefano to get help and I kept shaking her. "Mama, Mama."
Jennifer.
I'm sorry. Sometimes it still comes back. It was always me and her. Other people would joke that our family had two sets of twins, Joan and Jen, my mom and me, and Bob and Ben, my father and brother. After she died, I felt so alone. And at first, I would wake up every morning, and for a second, just a second, I'd think, "Oh, I have to tell Mom." And it would strike me again. Boom. No. Not boom. Like a flood, like all of a sudden I was drowning. Oh, she's not.
I remember.
Yeah, I'm sure you do.
How did you get through it before?
I guess I didn't, really. But my counselor at school, she was wonderful. She understood.
Shall we stop for today?
I don't know. No. This counselor said that people think courage is that you're not afraid. It's not that. It's that you do it, whatever it is, even though you're afraid. And sometimes it takes courage just to get out of bed every day, to overcome the fight, and that it would never go away, but it could get better. That I needed to find something to want again, something to live for. And I would if I just kept getting out of bed every day. And I guess school, acting, this script, for now anyway. So, can we continue?
Yes. And thank you.
For?
Well, just
seemed like forever, but our neighbor came. I always wondered, if I hadn't been painting, maybe I didn't for a long time. But my father kept saying, you are an artist, paint. If she were alive, I don't know. I suppose I'd be married.
Oh, my dear Temmie, I am so sorry. But maybe you should get married.
I suppose so. I just know I have to paint.
Well, I don't see why you can't do both. Signor Marchetti's wife is a painter. Her pictures aren't as grand as yours, but with her tomatoes, you can actually smell the sauce. Agostino Tassi stopped by late last night.
He did?
It was all I could do to keep him away from your door. Francesco finally got up and threw him out.
Was that disgusting Cosimo with him?
Cosimo, why?
It's nothing, but promise me you will never let him in.
But he is orderly.
Tusiassi, please, promise me.
I promise. Temmie, I know I can't be your mother, but I feel like you are my daughter.
Oh, my dear Tuzia. Do you want to see the portrait?
Saint Cecilia has been resurrected as a flower?
A violet. For you. Thank you.
And they embrace again, end of scene. You okay?
Actually, I am.
You know, Artemisia and Tassi, it's not always easy.
No, I figured that out. It'll be okay. They're careful about the difficult parts.
As they should be. Jennifer, I'm not pushing it, but we have a wonderful counseling center here.
That's good to know, but I'm okay, really.
Okay. But please let me know if you need anything.
I will, I promise.
I didn't know about this Tuzia. It adds dimension to the story.
I know. I think she was arrested.
Oh, really?
I will keep you posted.
Please do. Now, for me, it's late September and I really should be getting back to school.
Thank you, Dr. Grant.
See you in class, Jennifer.
Hal and Quentin in Hal's office. John enters.
Oh, John, thanks for coming. Quentin, John Hanson, very promising actor. 3rd year, right?
Give or take a few credits.
John, thanks for reading. I'm in the middle of rewrites. This can only be helpful.
Oh, no, thank you. Any chance to be on stage, even if it involves eating brains. No, especially if it involves eating brains. I'm there.
Love your enthusiasm. So, here's the setup. You got Tassi. He's basically a pimp. Tassi wants him to keep an eye.
Sure, good.
You're good to go?
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off or anything, but really, I just like to dive right in and stay open to the emotions and shit. Just like life, you never know what's coming next. You experience it, right? All of it. No fear.
Interesting that you should put it that way. All right, let's do this thing. Here. Fuck, Tassi, you cunt, you have to do this.
I can't do this.
Wait, you okay with this?
Oh, sorry, did I miss something?
Oh, nice. Then pay me what you owe me.
You know I can't do that either.
She's driving me mad. I have to have her. But they're running a bordello there. Men coming and going at all hours. At least I got them to throw Francesco out.
Francesco? Why?
He wouldn't help me get to her. He was quite hostile. Whenever I was there, I would have dealt with him directly, but
You already have people watching your house.
night and day. That's so fucking expensive. Just keep an eye on her.
I'll try to visit more often.
No. Her father is looking for an assistant. You need money. Work for it.
He can't pay me.
So I will.
How much?
What? You owe me! Live there and you don't. Do what you do best.
As a notary.
As a deadbeat and a pimp.
It's late. I have to go.
Then pay me now.
I'll think
I
about
will
it.
have you thrown in prison.
I will think about it. I have to go.
It's early.
My wife, she's expecting me.
It's late. It's not safe out there. Stay here tonight.
Tassi.
Agostino embraces him from behind and pushes him toward the bed.
No, you stay here tonight, and I will show you what a great artist can do.
End of scene.
This is based on a true story, right? From...
Early 1600s.
Interesting. Did they sleep together?
Frequently.
And they fucked or something?
Not entirely clear, but knowing Tassi.
Oh, cool.
So, what do you think?
About?
The scene, the characters?
Dude, Tassi's fucking nuts. Blue balls in for this... What's her name? Artemisia?
Quaint. Oh, you want a beer?
No thanks.
And Tassi?
He doesn't seem like a bad guy, but he's a schmo. I'm stuck in the middle. So we good for today? I mean, I'll stay all night if there's more to read, but I do have a test in the morning.
Seriously, I like how you understand this character. We'll definitely want you to do more. Oh, I would so love to have you in this part. If you can find the heart of this character, and I think you can.
Yeah. Cool.
Oh, sorry, am I too early?
No, just on time. You need to know each other, right?
John, right?
Right, and I'm sorry, I know we met at the meet and greet, but I'm an effing idiot.
Jennifer.
Right. Great to see you again. Well, later all.
So, Jennifer, all good?
Absolutely.
Shall we just jump in? This scene is with Ckazmer. Q, you good to go?
I am.
Great.
Signor Corley, how did you get in here?
My dear friend Tuzia's door is always open to me.
Your friend.
In need. Her husband needed work to stay in Rome, and indeed I found him work.
Tuzia? Tuzia?
I still have some work to do on the scene. Let's try this. Tuzia enters. What would she say to him?
Tuzia, why is he here? I told, why did you let him in?
Good. She wouldn't want to be too direct or confrontational. Oh, Hal, if you don't mind, improvise Tuzia, please. How respectable he is, blah, blah, blah.
Signora Artemisia, calm yourself. Signor Quarterly is a very respectable gentleman. He is the orderly to our Holy Father, the Pope himself.
And Artemisia says?
Tuzia, please. He is so... I told you.
Oh, my dear. I know he jokes and can be crude. He's a man. Signor Quarterly, please.
She can take care of herself.
Tuzia, please.
Great. Vulnerable, frightened, but deferential.
My dear, you will be fine. Now I must
Blah, blah, blah.
boil the laundry, skin a pig, fly a plane. So long, farewell, auf Wiedersehen.
Exit Tuzia.
Goodbye, my dear Tuzia. Enjoy your stay in Rome, and you will, as long as you remember who your friends are. You see, Signor Artemisia, everything, and I mean everything, has a price, including commissions. And your room. This is yours. Oh my. You are talented. The Virgin Mary. What an ironic subject for such an experienced woman, and you certainly are a woman. I could teach you so much.
He repeatedly attempts to touch her. She pulls away.
You are married and rude.
And you, a female painter with no marketable skills. I know your father is not well fixed. He hasn't had a decent commission since he ran afoul of our blessed cardinal. It's only through my intercession that you eat, paint, exist. What becomes of destitute fallen women? The nunnery?
My father is highly respected.
Your father is my cat. I feed him, only not so much, and I milk him as I please. You, however, have the assets to see that he and you are well fed. On the other hand, whatever would he and you do if I don't get fed and I stop feeding him?
He has other commissions.
Chicken feed. They barely keep him in wine since he ran afoul of the Pope.
What are you saying?
Oh, of course. This sordid family secret was kept from you. I will begin your education with a history lesson. Your father was imprisoned with the great Caravaggio.
You're lying.
Oh, am I? Well, did he go on a trip for, let's see, 2 months? You would have been about 10 years old. What? No protestation? No incredulity? Around the time of your mother's death?
You're lying.
Am I? Baglioni brought a libel suit against the pair of them for writing derogatory verses about his altarpiece. Oh, they were right, of course, about the altarpiece, but Baglioni was and is a favorite of the Pope. And oh my, what they said in those verses, what I couldn't possibly tell you.
You think I'm afraid of your words?
No. Suffice it to say that it began with, "Oh, Baglioni, you great whore."
And?
No. I simply can't risk you think me crude. Well, if you insist. I warned you. Oh, and the verses, they were distributed by a very special prostitute. I understand that Caravaggio was quite generous with the boy, shared him eagerly with his friends. I wonder if your father, well, when a man's wife dies, any sty in a storm, as they say.
Get out! To the
Oh, you're wasting your breath. Not a nunnery? Well, I imagine you could make out as a prostitute.
He tries to force her to the bed.
You might as well, I'll say you did, in either case.
A door slams off stage.
I wouldn't tell him about this for his sake. If he so much as looks at me cross-eyed, he will lose the paltry commissions he gets. And I wonder, how much hunger can one get used to?
Exit Ckazmer. Reading Lazio.
Is this real? I mean, historically?
It is. I had to fill in a few blanks, and yes, I truly believe it is an important piece of work. I was telling Hal that the artistic director at the Tivoli is very interested in this play. If we can get a production here, and if there's anyone in the cast here who's good enough, well, who knows?
Quentin, we weren't going to bring that up.
You're right. Jennifer, I'm sorry. I'm just so taken with your performance.
She is excellent, isn't she? Jennifer, I really do think you are special and right for this part, but remember...
No, I understand. No guarantees. But next day, next metu, right?
Exactly. Except I also don't want you to feel that there's no hope. You good to go ahead with the next scene?
Sure.
Act 1, Scene 5, Artemisia's apartment. Enter Agostino, addressing off stage.
And if you ever show your pricks around here again, I will prepare you for a castrati choir. Hypocrites, sniffing around like cunt hounds. You, signor, are not what you seem. I see now that the apple does not rot far from the tree.
What are you talking about?
You're just as wanton as your father.
That is not true for my father or myself, and you are rude.
Is it rude to be concerned about your welfare, your reputation?
You've been following me. That's rude. And the way you spoke to the priests.
What were they doing here?
They stopped by to pick up the holy cards.
This is what you waste your time on? Painting miniature saints for gross sinners? What else do you paint for them?
Signor Tassi.
Signor Tassi, your father asked me to keep an eye on you. Now I understand why.
You accuse me of with priests?
With priests? They're the most licentious, lascivious, lewd, lecherous...
Whatever they may be, I am innocent.
Well, I forgive you, and will not tell your father about your indiscretion. Just this once.
Tusia said you were well-mannered and that we would get along very well. I hope she wasn't wrong.
This is my most fervent desire. But I feel it is my duty to tell you that Francesco is still spreading scandal about you. That when he mixes paints for your father, he mixes your paint as well.
It isn't true.
Isn't it? Whenever I pass by, you're always standing at the window, half naked, making a spectacle of yourself.
I don't.
And I see you've been out more lately.
My father was distressed because I was upset. Tusia told him to send me out for walks.
I know. I told Tuzia to.
You, but I thought...
She tells me where you're going,
She does?
so I can protect you. Even Cosimo told me he came by to, enjoy your company.
He's a lying toad.
Be that as it may, he can also be a dangerous enemy. I can protect you from...
If I need protection, I wouldn't choose you.
I'm just trying to look out for you, but you don't care about me.
Signor Tassi...
Agostino, please.
Agostino, you know I value your efforts to protect my reputation. They're all lies.
I do so want to believe you. Is this where you paint? Show me. Model for me.
No. He who wants me must give me this.
Great. That's just great. You two really have a great chemistry. Jennifer, that's all for today. Can you come by later in the week, maybe Friday?
It'll have to be in the evening, after 6.
Good for me. Can you make it?
Sure. I mean, I'll need to rearrange something, but...
Not a date, I hope. Because I don't want to interfere with your love life.
Oh, no, I don't. I mean, I haven't.
No worries. Probably not my business anyhow.
No. It's okay.
So, Friday, 6:30?
Yes, thanks.
Really nice work.
Thanks. Really.
Jennifer is reading outside of Miriam's office. John enters.
Hey, Jennifer.
Oh, hey, John.
So you're reading the Artemisia character?
For now.
I guess, but Prince Hal and Quentin, I think they really dig you.
Really?
Yeah, they're always making comments about you, using your name instead of hers. Then Jennifer comes in, and that's when Jennifer...
Really?
Really, yeah. They're goofy, but heck, kids apart, right?
Yeah. Are we in any scenes together?
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't seen the whole script.
I don't think it turns out well.
No shit. You never know, though. Hey, you going to the concert Saturday?
I can't. They've cut back my hours at the bookstore. I gotta watch every penny. Ramen noodles and ketchup most of the time.
For real? Well, that's effed up. Yep, not a problem, though. My friend set the whole thing up. You're in if you want. Backstage party afterwards. Hey, I'm in charge of food. Bring a doggy bag. I'll bring a truck. Load it up. I'll meet you there at 8 in the lobby.
Wow. Yes. I mean, not about the doggy bag.
I wasn't kidding. Bring something. You'll eat for at least a week.
Yeah? Hey, thanks.
Are you doing anything right now? Want to get coffee?
I'd love to. I'd really love to, but I've got another, reading for the play?
Oh, cool. Well, bodily harm of the lower extremity.
What?
Break a leg.
Right. Thanks. See you Saturday then.
Absolutely.
Hal is reading a script.
Mr. Hal,
Oh, Jennifer. Hello.
are we reading tonight?
Absolutely. Oh, Q had to cancel. But I thought we might as well get a little deeper into the script. You good with that?
Sure.
So, here's the scene for the day. Set up, Artemisia's painting, Agostino enters, and take it from there.
How did you get in here?
The Masons, they left the door open. Very thoughtful, thoughtless of them. See, I told you, you needed protection.
Apparently from you.
May the good Lord save me from those who would save me, right? Susanna and the elders. Not a self-portrait.
My, you are perceptive.
This Susanna pales by comparison. The elders, you have taken liberties. Well, I understand why you would use Cosimo's visage. I am deeply hurt that you would use mine. I would never accost you at your bath without your permission. Rather, I will be your Daniel. I will personally execute anyone who questions your honor.
The ever-gallant Signor Tassi. You will commit suicide.
More reason for me to protect your honor. Interesting, though. The elders are mere hours away from execution, but there is only lust in their eyes. It was, however, a travesty of justice.
Oh?
The rape of a fallen woman is no crime. Was not, is not, and never shall be. World without end. Amen.
Susanna was not fallen.
Of course she was. No woman can be virtuous for long.
He takes her painting hand and puts his other hand on her back, brushing his body against hers.
But you see here, you so need my tutelage. The clouds have no depth. You should be able to touch, to taste their softness, their moisture.
He attempts to kiss her. She pulls back. He grabs the brushes and throws them about.
You do too much painting. You should pay more attention to me.
He puts his head on her breast. She pulls away.
Tusia?
Never mind, Tusia, we're fine. Let's walk together a while.
He guides her around the room.
Augustino, I'm not feeling well.
You will soon feel better. Much better.
But I think I have a fever.
I have more of a fever than you.
He guides her toward the bed.
Tusia? Tusia?
Let's skip ahead to page 65. Quentin is rewriting this scene. Oh, here. Yes, here they're in a relationship. Let's see. They're in bed, naked, under a quilt, but, well, we can skip that part, right? Oh, let's use the couch. You okay with that?
Sure.
They sit.
Here's one from old Ferdy.
Ferdy?
Ferdinando de Medici. There. Read it to me.
Are you too modest to read it yourself?
Well, modesty is among my chief virtues. But if you insist... Your magnificent representation of depth of the waves. Oh, and here, exquisite strokes of a genius.
You should be so proud. And I'm sure you are. Why didn't you stay in Florence?
Leo, our lightning pope, summoned me, the bastard.
Why bastard?
Had he the consideration to hold on to his wretched life a few more days, I would have been set forever. Look, here's the commission. In his hand, but never signed. 27 days as a pope. 27! What an unlucky number.
His too, I think.
Him? He's dead. Besides, he was old. And a pope. But for me, for the world, it would have meant great works. Not just in Rome, but in Spain, in Henry's court in France. Fortunately, I do have some connections to our blessed Pope Paul. And because of these, happy Christmas.
He He gives her earrings.
You don't like them?
They're lovely.
What is it then?
I told you I don't want presents. They make me feel like a... You promised you would marry me months ago.
And I will, Timmy. Just can't do it now.
Tino, are you married? Agostino.
No, I'm not.
You were.
I was. It's very difficult to speak about.
Your wife?
My dear Maria. She died, tragically, after I came to Rome to prepare for our life together here. I'm sorry, it's just too much.
I'm so sorry. But we will be married. I can help you. Well, not to forget, but...
I know you can. And I promise, soon.
She hands him a package.
Right, you
Happy
did remember
Christmas.
me. Kerchiefs.
When we're married, you might expect more.
I expect more right now.
He tries to kiss her. She pulls away.
No. You must go. My father will be home soon.
He rises and looks at the painting.
You know, this Cecilia, you should send it to Borghese. Who knows? Maybe Paul himself will take an interest in it.
Really? You would send it to him?
I will. It's excellent. I'll have someone pick it up.
She pulls him back into bed.
Tino, thank you. And I promise, I will make you very happy.
They kiss and linger. Hal reluctantly pushes her away.
Whoa! And obscene. You okay?
Sure.
You sure?
No, really, I am. I played Juliet at our school, so.
Can I get you anything?
No, I should go. I've got a thing to go to.
Oh. Well, Friday then?
Friday. With Quentin, right?
Yeah. With Quentin.
Jennifer and John are walking through a local park.
So, you have any other talents you want to tell me about?
What?
Well, acting, of course. But when you invited me tonight, you didn't tell me you were the drummer.
Surprise! Any other talents? Well, you'll have to be the judge of that.
He moves to kiss her. There's a projection of the moon setting with a reflection on water.
Oh, look, the moon's setting.
Sun will be up soon.
Shall we?
Shall we?
Sit? Watch?
Oh, that shall we? Sure, what the heck? It's so late, it's already early.
They sit.
Do you think they're sad?
Who?
The sun and the moon. Separated like that. Meeting only at dawn.
Yeah, it wasn't always like that.
What?
They weren't always apart.
Really?
Oh, you didn't know? I assumed everybody knew that.
Oh, what? Oh, you thought I said really? I said really. No question mark. I know all about that.
Oh. So enlighten me.
Well, as you know, for half of an eternity, the sun and moon live together in the same sky, illuminating daytime with the brilliance of their shared and equal love.
So you do know it. And they slept embraced by the sweet, discreet darkness of night and embracing each other.
Oh, did they? And then, with time, the moon swelled with love and they gave birth to a child.
Yeah, okay. And this enhanced the moon's brilliance as she kissed, caressed, and bathed the child in the light of her love.
And she...
Together, the moon and sun taught her how to shine. The mother tenderly and gracefully as the whisper of a willow.
The father, brashly and boldly as the bellow of a bear.
And which, really, is stronger.
Nice.
And together, they proudly introduced her.
Selena.
Yes, Selena, to their relatives, the other stars, and to the earth.
Selena was independent and brave, and as she grew, she begged to be allowed to explore the night.
This they gently prohibited, explaining that night journey was dangerous and forbidden.
But she saw only the beauty, the lure, the mystery of the stars.
So she
snuck
sneaked
off.
up.
Sneaked or snuck? I always wondered about that.
Either, or neither, I think.
The child took great pleasure and pride in traveling across the sky, caressing the surface of the earth with her youthful and tender light.
And she...
Until one night, she came upon the ocean.
Right, I almost forgot that part. The ocean, always hungry, fed on the innocent, the curious, the careless, and the needful travelers in the night.
Yes.
If I may, the ocean was stunned by her innocent beauty.
He called to her, softly, sweetly, as waves lapping on the shore. Selena, come to me.
But she was shy, and she remembered her parents' warning. So she hurried home and snuck into bed.
Into bed. Each night, the ocean whispered to her, Selena, come to me.
So she slipped out again and visited him, and he patiently, hungrily listened to her as she told him about her life, her parents, her relatives in distant skies whom she would one day visit.
And each night, she drew closer and closer.
Until one night, she was directly over the ocean.
She gasped. She saw her reflection.
Which she believed was a dawning sun just for her, in the ocean.
Are you for me? Like my father is for my mother?
Yes, Selena, I am for you. We will be together forever.
The child's heart swelled, and she shone more brightly than ever. She drew closer.
Closer. Come closer. Closer.
As she bent to kiss him, the ocean also swelled to meet her kiss, but in a towering black wave.
Selena, stunned, fought against the violence of the ocean's embrace.
But she was swallowed in one great gulp.
And the sky blackened.
Only the deceitful sounds of the waves remained.
The moon awoke in a sudden panic. She roused the sun, and they called out and searched endlessly.
Until one night, the moon saw the child, crying silently, reaching up from the black depths of the ocean. The moon called for the sun. They demanded that the ocean give their child back to them.
The ocean, of course, refused. You have no say over me.
And since the moon awakens every night to tug at the ocean, trying to wrest the child free of his grasp, creating great tides. But every morning her strength wanes, and the ocean, ever adamant, returns to the banks of his home and resumes his rising and falling, swelling and swallowing.
And every day the sun furiously hurls flames at him to boil him dry, but only succeeds in creating great clouds, which later renew the ocean's fearful power.
And every day and every night, Selena lies sad and dark at the ocean's depths, brightening and struggling, only when she sees her mother in the night sky. That is so sad.
But the persistence of the love of the sun and the moon for their child will outlast the treachery of the ocean. And one day,
Or night. That's 3.
3.
Actor, drummer, storyteller.
They sit and kiss. It starts to become passionate.
That's 4. John, could we just take it slow?
Sure, slow's good. I like it slow. Your play slow or mine?
No, I mean us.
Oh, us? You mean like date, take it slow?
Yeah.
Dating. Yeah, I haven't really done that since the collapse of civilization as we know it.
Oh?
I don't talk about it, but I suffered a serious broken heart last year. I haven't really dated since.
I'm sorry. You really loved her?
I did. But I really loved him too.
Him?
My best friend for like forever.
Oh.
Yeah, he loved. Well, that was the other thing. Maybe I'd understood if he had loved her, you know, if they'd loved each other, but no, he and she, well, you know. But with you, slow, I guess I could try.
They kiss gently.
I take it you're not dating anyone now?
No. I really haven't dated much. I've been too busy.
Theater?
Some. Mostly looking after my father and brother.
Oh, your mom?
A few years ago.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. Really.
Hey, what do you say we go to my place?
John.
What? For breakfast? I got food left over from the concert, and we'll scramble up some eggs with the onions and the peppers. We'll re-grill the hot dogs, toast the pizza. We can make hash browns out of the fries.
Post-concert chef. That's 5. I'm guessing there's more.
She kisses him.
What's a girl to do?
He wants me to take a room with her father. What should I do?
You are a go-between, so go-between. And take this letter to him. It authorizes him to give me to Cecilia.
This is from her?
So,
Why didn't she give it to him?
Steve Tassi, when did you become an interrogator? Learn your trade. The first law of being a go-between is that you have no brain and require no information. You're one of those African parrots. Repeat what you were told, otherwise shut up and bring me the painting. Now go between.
Hal and Quentin are drinking wine.
Jennifer, welcome.
Hey.
No reading tonight. We think you're terrific, and while we can't guarantee the part, we do really...
Really?
Quentin, Jennifer, we'll see how it goes. Tonight we just want to discuss the play. Characters, make sure we have an intimate understanding of the relationships. Why?
He offers her a glass of wine.
to Rome. 1610.
Salute Artemisia.
To Artemisia.
It is quite a story, and a very good play, I must admit.
It really is.
Thank you. It's great seeing it come to life in your hands. Bravo, or Jennifer.
Thank you.
So anyway, Q. Tassi. You raped her?
Well, the evidence is equivocal, but does it really matter? Maybe he raped her, maybe she seduced him. The point is, she won.
What?
Wait, how did she win? I mean, if you raped her.
Because of her indomitable spirit. She used the notoriety of the trial to free herself from the conventions of the time. By the way, the transcript of the trial has been translated into English.
What was the verdict?
All will be revealed. I want to see your reaction.
I promise. No research.
Let's shake her. Suffice it to say that in those days, masculine desire was considered a woman's fault. There's a general belief that a woman could slay a man by provoking lust. It's all over the Bible.
Wait, the men get their...
What, the rocks off?
Yeah, but the women are destroyed? That's fair.
Well, arguably, in Artemisia's case, in her destruction, the fetters of, if I may make a pun, genteel mores were also destroyed, liberating her to pursue her ambition.
What?
No, look. Her paintings were in demand in part because of the salaciousness of the trial. And if they showed breasts, particularly if it could be assumed that they were her breasts, their value increased. Smart. 17th century pornography. Why not use all your attributes? Men use their muscles, and what are breasts if not muscles of love? Lust, anyhow.
He lights up a joint.
I always thought they were for providing milk for babies.
They are. Which is why men are so attracted to them. Men are basically just babies writ large.
Which makes them dangerous when they don't get their way.
It is so true, it is funny. Funny sad, but funny. Here.
I don't really.
Have you tried it?
Oh, yeah. Well, once. Twice. But the first time it didn't do anything for me.
No problems, right?
Oh, no.
All actors smoke. It's our inhibitions that interfere with achieving our potential. This is strong stuff, so go easy. Just stop whenever you feel you've had enough.
Just say no. No, really, most writers smoke too. The doors of perception and all that.
How did you choose to write about her? I mean, a woman.
Drama is always about struggle, and what's more compelling than struggles about gender equality and power?
But a man writing a play about women's struggles?
Sure, why not? In a way, it's the ultimate postmodern feminist statement.
So, Artemisia triumphs.
Exactly. If her eggs were going to be broken, why shouldn't she enjoy an omelet, so to speak? I say more power to her.
And she could have been forced into becoming the whore that Tassi alleged she was.
Instead, she became successful and famous, married Tassi's cousin, got commissions from the Medici, the kings of Spain and England, the first female admitted to the Royal Academy of Art, friends with Galileo. But the irony, Tassi died in abject poverty and is virtually unknown today.
But he did rape her.
Maybe, it depends upon the definition of rape. How do you explain the consensual sex afterwards? If her father hadn't filed charges, they'd probably still be fucking today.
Really? Because I see her as stronger than that.
Put yourself in her place. Artemisia is in bed. Tuzia lets him in. You've already had sex. You want to continue this for the commissions, marriage, whatever. How do you react?
Well, let's try this.
He kisses her.
Do you have a script for this?
Improvise, you're doing great.
They kiss. He starts to unbutton her blouse.
Wait, what?
It's all right. Just a little more cleavage, more provocative. She knows she's beautiful, desirable. She isn't afraid to show her body. She is a true artist.
They kiss.
Might be better if you were undressed. Not completely.
What?
Oh, not all the way. Here.
He takes off her blouse and lays her on the couch.
I think, maybe I should go.
Stay. Don't worry. You have nothing to hide, really.
He slips off his pants.
But it was about the play.
Shh, Jennifer. It is. It will help with your perspective. For the role.
He kisses her. Quentin begins to undress. In a court scene, Miriam's office. She is on the phone.
Jennifer, it's Dr. Grant. I missed you in class. I just wanted to make sure everything is okay. Oh, and I got the book with the Vatican trial. Interesting. Anyhow, call me. The Curia and the State versus Agostino Tassi, painter, and Signora Tuzia.
Madam Tusi, how did you become
Become acquainted with Signora Orazio Gentileschi. My daughter became friendly with Signora Artemisia. He was happy that his daughter had a friend, as she was always alone. He then asked me if we would take a house jointly.
Did Signor Orazio give you any instructions regarding his daughter's comportment?
Yes, I was to accompany her when she went out, and I was to notify him if anyone came by.
Did Signor Orazio have friends who visited the house?
Signors Agostino Tassi and Cosimo Corley frequently took Orazio out late at night.
Were the two aforesaid men in Signor Orazio's house in his absence?
Signora Tassi came to the house often when Signor Orazio was out. I allowed him in only because he tormented me. He said he loved Signora Artemisia. He became very suspicious of other people, and he would spy through her keyhole to see what she was doing.
Did you encounter him outside of the residence?
We could not take a step without Agostino being nearby. I told her I didn't like his hot pursuit of her, and she replied that he had promised to marry her.
And did you inform Signor Orazio of these occurrences?
I did not.
You will tell the court the reason you did not?
Signor Tassi threatened to harm my husband if I did so.
Did other men visit Signora Gentileschi when her father was out?
No.
Signor Tassi, do you know the reason for your imprisonment?
I do not.
How is it possible that you are not aware of the charges brought by one Orazio Gentileschi?
The amount of work I do for our Holy Father, the Lord Pope Paul, and the most illustrious Cardinal Borghese leaves me little time for idle speculation.
Have there been other times when you have been arrested?
2 or 3 times. Once I was accused of having carnal relations with a sister-in-law. I was released by order of our Lord, the Pope. Another time I was imprisoned for a triviality. Your lordship was the judge, and you released me.
Are you now, or have you ever been married?
I married about 8 years before I left Tuscany. My wife has since died.
Under what circumstances did she die?
I cannot tell, your lordship. She stole 800 scudi from me and ran away. I recovered the money, thanks to Ferdinando de' Medici. Friends later wrote to congratulate me on her death.
Have you friends in Rome?
Cosimo Corley, orderly of the Vatican Palace, was my friend, may he rest in peace. I was also friendly with Giovanni Stiatessi and Orazio Gentileschi. I now declare them to be traitors.
Why do you refer to said gentlemen as traitors?
I lent them money. When I asked them to return it, they refused and said that instead that they intended to prosecute me.
You have visited Orazio's house.
I have.
What was the purpose of your visit or visits?
He asked me to teach his daughter, Artemisia, perspective.
Were you ever alone in the house with said Artemisia?
I don't remember.
The court admonishes the accused to answer in either the affirmative or the negative.
I have never been alone with her.
Who was present when you met with her?
A woman named Tuzia. Artemisia was very wild. Orazio established Tuzia in the house to straighten her out.
Did you ever go to the house at night?
On occasion, her father asked me to check on his daughter.
Were there occasions when you saw her outside of her residence?
It is possible. I am frequently around Rome for my work, but I have no recollection of having seen her.
Did you ever see her while going to church?
It's possible she was there when I was working, but I'm always too busy to take note of who was there.
The court admonishes the accused to give either an affirmative or negative answer under pain of sanction.
Oh, yes, I recall now. I saw her once on one occasion quite early in the morning. I told her that I had seen certain men around her who wanted to take her into a vineyard. That she should be a good girl and that she should not bring shame upon her father.
Did you recognize any of these men?
I believe one was the procurator for Cardinal Tanti.
Did you ascertain his reason for being there?
He was there to screw her. Another time I saw them in the window of her house. I spoke to Tuzia about this indiscretion. She said she admonished her several times, but Artemisia did as she pleased.
Why did you take such an interest in her comportment?
As I was Orazio's friend, I felt obliged to safeguard his honor.
Did you see them together in her room?
Many times. Often she was undressed in bed. Whenever I reproved her, she would tell me to mind my own business.
Do you know if they engaged in carnal copulation?
They both denied this to me.
Signor Tassi, have you ever had or tried to have carnal relations with the said Artemisia?
Ever.
Did the aforementioned Stiatessi ever spend the night at your house?
He did.
What subjects did you discuss?
Concerns of his life. He himself was constantly wailing that he was in love with Gentileschi's daughter. I told him he was harming his friendship with Orazio. He replied, "Why? I can both fuck and eat in Gentileschi's house."
Has there ever been an exchange of letters between you and this Stiatessi?
I don't remember.
The accused will answer the question under threat of punishment.
I have important matters to tend to. I cannot rack my brain over this trivia.
Guard, escort...
Oh, yeah, yes! I now remember that I once wrote a letter to Stiatessi.
Do you recognize this?
The guard hands a letter to Agostino.
I do.
The accused will read the letter.
Oh, fuck, Stiatessi. You are wrong. You are blinded by those rays that have caused me such grief and misery. I don't want to see her again. What a labyrinth I have gotten myself into.
What was the subject of this letter?
Stiatessi promised to procure a certain woman for me. He was doing me out of more and more money. I sent him the letter to show him that he was torturing me.
This did not pertain to Artemisia Gentileschi?
It did not.
Signor Stiatessi, do you have information regarding Signor Tassi's involvement with Signora Gentileschi?
He told me that he had deflowered her.
You are lying through your teeth, you fucking cuckold!
You, Signor, without respect for this court, you will be punished because of this great irreverence.
Please, your lordship, I did not say this to show contempt toward the court. I only asked to be allowed to question this witness.
You may proceed.
Thank you, your lordship. Tell me, Stiatessi, where do you live?
I live in the house of Orazio Gentileschi, and may the court know it was You who placed me in that house.
Where you do not pay rent?
I do not, because I assist Orazio.
And it was he who induced you to testify in this matter?
He did not. I was sought out by his honor the judge.
Did Signor Gentileschi promise you anything if you brought this business to a conclusion?
He did not. However, you promised to help me if I got her married to someone else. If it please your lordship, I have nothing else to say now.
You will answer my question.
Sir, I am sick of this business. I intend to respond to further questioning through my solicitor, but since you do not bring it up, your lordship must know that this Agostino begged me to bring Artemisia to him in prison. We found him unable to speak, looking as if he were about to faint. Finally, he gave her his pledge to marry her.
You are a liar! He came to Corte Savala to ask for 15 scudi, and then said that he would have Artemisia retract her testimony. I told him I didn't care, as I am an honest man.
You are lying through your throat. If it pleased the court, my wife and Father Pietro Giordano were both present and can corroborate this.
We have heard the testimony of Father Giordano,
It is
corroborating this information.
It is a lie!
The accused will remain seated.
I tell you, they're lying!
The accused will be returned to the prison at Corte Savala.
They're all plotting against me!
Remove this accused man from this court.
The guard handcuffs Agostino, struggling, and escorts him out.
We will proceed in the morning with the midwife's examination of Artemisia Gentileschi.
Lights out. Pause. Lights up. The midwife examines Artemisia behind a scrim and approaches the bench.
Senor, you have examined the witness?
I have, your lordship. The hymen has been broken. This happened a while ago.
Can you ascertain when?
Not with certainty, your lordship.
We thank you for your service. You are dismissed. Senor Gentileschi, do you know why, or can you imagine the reason you are being questioned?
I imagine your lordship wants to question me because my father has imprisoned Agostino Tassi, who deflowered me with great violence and subsequently failed to honor a promise to marry me, and our tenant, Tuzia, who betrayed me by acting as procuress for Agostino Tassi.
Why do you contend that this Tuzia acted as a procuress for Tassi?
She pushed me into seeing him and let him into my apartment whenever he wished, and she profited from doing so.
Under what circumstances did you meet this Agostino Tassi?
Signor Tassi and my father worked together on a mural at Corte Savala.
Did this Tassi frequent your father's house?
He did.
Your lordship, may I be allowed to question the witness?
Proceed.
Agostino rises and approaches her.
Signora Gentileschi, tell me if anyone else frequented your house?
Many people frequented my father's house, but no one came on my account.
Is it not true that Artegenio frequented your house? And are you warned that if you do not tell the truth, it will be proved?
Artegenio was a friend of Tuzia and frequented her apartment, but not mine.
Isn't it true that you wrote many letters to many men?
It is not.
The court has heard testimony that you have indeed written many letters to many men, inviting them to enjoy your favors.
That is a lie.
It is the truth.
It is a lie. I do not write letters.
Oh, you do not write letters. Did I not receive a letter from you to release your painting, Cecilia, to Cosimo Corley?
You may have received a letter, but it wasn't from me.
How is that possible?
I cannot write.
You cannot...
I cannot write. And if it please your lordship, that painting was to go to Cardinal Borghese.
Cardinal Borghese, you say? Senor Tassi, where is said painting presently?
I don't know, your lordship. It was in the possession of Signor Corley.
Who is deceased?
Yes, your lordship.
You may proceed.
Did you ever tell anyone that Pasquino deflowered you?
I did not.
Do you deny that he stayed at your house?
When he stayed in my father's house, I was 7 years old.
Senor Tassi, before you continue in this matter, do you have any knowledge, certain knowledge, about any other person or persons who may have had carnal relations with this said Artemisia?
The court has heard testimony from my witnesses about her promiscuity. Antonio Copino testified that Artemisia has been with many men, including Cosimo Porta. Luca testified that Pasquino Fiorentino boasted of 4 years of intercourse with her.
How is it that your witnesses accuse only those who have died?
It would be better to ask, how is it that those who screw her died? Niccolo Bedino lived in the house as an apprentice and testified that she had many lovers.
There is evidence that he was paid for his testimony by you.
Whoever said that is a liar.
We will discover the truth. Bedino will be tortured, as will Copino. Have you any further questions of this witness?
I have, your lordship.
You may proceed.
Thank you, your lordship. Signora Gentileschi, tell me exactly with what opportunity you allege I first had carnal relations with you.
I have already testified in this court to that matter.
The summoned woman will answer the question in the presence of the accused.
As I have previously testified, we walked 2 or 3 times around the studio.
This scene is enacted.
I told him, I think I have a fever. He responded,
I have an even greater fever than you.
He put his head on my breast. I screamed, Tusia! Tusia! He pushed me into the bedroom and locked the door. He threw me onto the bed and pulled up my skirts. I tried to push him off. I scratched his face and pulled his hair. I screamed for Tusia. He covered my mouth. I bit him. He pushed his penis to my vagina. I grasped it so tightly that I tore his flesh. Even this did not stop him. He put it in me. It burned and hurt so much. When he finished his business, he got off me. I was bleeding. I got up and took a knife from the drawer. I lunged at him. You have ruined me. I will kill you. He opened his coat and said,
Here I am.
I cut him, but not deeply. He took the knife from me. I fell to the floor, crying. He said,
Oh, give me your hand. I promise I will marry you as soon as I get out of the labyrinth I'm in.
With this promise, I calmed. And with this promise, he induced me to yield willingly to his desires many times afterwards.
These are all lies.
Has the witness anything to add to this testimony?
No, your lordship.
The summoned woman should beware of unjustly accusing Senior Tassi of rape.
I have told the truth.
Your lordship, you must know that none of this is true.
You will not hesitate to confirm everything you have said,
I will not.
even under torture?
I have told the truth. I will confirm it, however necessary.
And so it shall be. In order to remove any mark of infamy that might arise against the summoned woman, and to corroborate and strengthen her statement, it is decreed that she be subjected to the torture of the severe.
The guard applies and tightens thumb screws during this testimony.
Do you confirm that everything you have testified to in your examination is true?
It is true. It's all true. This is the ring you promised me.
You are lying through your teeth.
It is true.
She falls to her knees.
Have mercy upon me, oh God! Make me to understand thy wisdom and thy purpose. Give me
Loose the sibim.
The guard undoes the thumb screws.
This is not true. I never had sexual relations with that woman.
The accused should speak the truth openly before God.
I cannot confess to a lie.
The accused dares insist in going on with this in spite of the fact that the court knows for certain that he has not only had carnal relations with the said Artemisia more than once, but also with great violence deflowered.
It is not true. There was a stonecutter in her house named Francesco. You could trust a female cat with him. She even complained about her father, that when he was in prison, he left them without so much as a loaf of bread.
That is enough. The accused will be seated.
And that he wanted to use her exactly as if she were his wife. That's what she told me.
You will restrain the accused.
The guard handcuffs him to the chair.
We find the charges brought by Signor Orazio Gentileschi founded.
The wretched scoundrel should be killed. He is trying to wrest a dowry from me and usurp my share of the work done at Monte Cavallo.
The court finds the accused guilty of forcible rape and deflowerment of Signora Artemisia Gentileschi. He is sentenced to 5 years hard labor or complete and absolute banishment from Rome. Remove him to Tordinona prison.
This is an outrage.
Agostino, struggling, is uncuffed and let out.
Have the court documents sent to my residence for review. Bring Tuzia back in the morning for sentence. And locate the painting for Borghese.
Artemisia sits, rubbing her hands, in front of a canvas of Lucretia contemplating suicide. This is Miriam posed on stage. You?
Yes. It is I, Agostino Tassi.
But you were...
Banished? Forever? 5 years hard labor? I chose neither. The 9 months in jail was more than enough. The Pope thought I would better serve him as a painter in Rome than a slave on his galley, and I completely agreed. You see, I still have connections which I could make valuable to you.
Another of your promises.
Lucretia. If I recall, she was raped by the king's son. It's interesting how things turn out. If she hadn't committed suicide, there would have been no revolution and no Roman Republic.
You are a pig.
That may be, but I can bring you bacon. We could work together.
He attempts to kiss her. She pulls away.
Give it to me or not. You're finished.
She reaches into the painting, takes a knife.
I will fry your balls in oil.
She charges him. He pushes her. She falls.
You are ruined. Even if you had any talent, no one will touch your work. Now you can attain your true profession, as a whore. Or you can just go ahead and kill yourself. In your case, no one will care.
She looks at the light, at the knife, steadies her wrist, and takes off the headscarf. Lights out. Pause. Lights up to Jennifer, sitting on the floor of her apartment, holding a knife. Her wrist is bleeding.
Jen? Jen, you ready?
She drops the knife.
Jennifer, what happened? Jen, you're bleeding. Jennifer, what are you doing?
It's nothing. I hurt.
Do you need to... Should I... Can I call someone? Jennifer, talk to me, please.
I'm fine.
Jennifer.
No, I'm going home. I have to.
Home?
Please, go.
Jennifer.
Leave me alone.
Where do you keep your towels?
No. Just don't touch me. No. John, please, just leave me alone.
He returns with a towel. She takes it, starts to dab her wrist, sobs into the towel. Lucretia, Miriam, steps out of the frame, approaches her, wears the towel, bandages her wrist, kisses her hand, picks up the knife, and hands her a paintbrush. Lucretia steps back into the frame. Jennifer dons a scarf as Artemisia crosses to the frame and studies the painting. Miriam and Jennifer in Miriam's office.
Jennifer, I'm so sorry.
I can't stop thinking about it. Feeling every... I just keep thinking if I hadn't... I should never have...
Jennifer accepts her embrace and cries.
Dr. Grant, I just don't know.
I will help you. We will get through this.
I can't stay here. I'll never forget if I stay here.
You get some counseling.
In Spring Hill, Indiana? I can't tell my father. He didn't want me to come here in the first place. I'll just tell him he was right, but like that.
Is there anyone there you can talk to about it?
No.
Well, you can get counseling here. I'll call the center.
No, I told you. I just don't.
Do you want to file charges? A complaint with the university?
Can you do that?
Look, I will do everything I can. I will be here with you every step of the way if you do, but I can't initiate them.
No, I can't. No.
Courage?
Yeah. No, not now. What if it was consensual?
No, Jennifer. You know it wasn't. Not really.
There's a knock on the door.
In a meeting!
It's John? John Hanson?
Miriam rises and opens the door.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but is Jennifer here?
John?
Oh, hey, Jen, sorry to interrupt. I heard you weren't in class, and I stopped by your room.
It's okay.
I don't know if this is the time for this, but I wanted to talk to you. Make sure you were okay. You okay? Yeah, I talked to a friend who knows someone from Europa, Falcon's old school. There's a reason he left so suddenly.
Oh?
Yeah, and maybe it's not my business. I feel like I gotta do something.
John?
So, my project for class this week, and most of us, we're down for this. We're working on a scene about Artemisia and Tassi, about what happened to her. We thought we'd put it up for Hal to see. The play's the thing wherein we'll catch the conscience of the king. I mean, I know you won't be there, right? So I wanted to tell you. Make sure you're okay with it.
No, I mean, I don't care.
Cool. Is there anything I can do? Later. Yeah.
Later, John.
Okay. Thanks.
mean, I don't remember everything that, but what if Judith, became pregnant?
Oh. Oh. What are you doing for the holiday?
I don't know.
You have plans with your father and brother?
They always go hunting over Thanksgiving.
We have an extra bedroom. You'll stay with us. Please. We'll figure this out.
Miriam's office. Hal enters.
Mr. Falcon, thank you for meeting me.
Dr. Grant, it is my pleasure.
He sits.
Please sit down.
Thank you. Don't mind if I do. I must say, I was surprised at your invitation.
Oh?
Well, frankly, I had no idea who you were until I looked you up in the faculty directory.
I know. It's a pity, really. Too many faculty members keep to themselves, really kind of stay in their holes.
Odd way to put it, but I couldn't agree more. Taught at colleges where I barely met anyone outside of the damn drama department.
I hope you don't mind. Can I offer you a glass of wine? Maybe a scotch?
Oh, sure. Why not? Scotch. Neat.
2 endings.
Endings.
End of the day, end of the week. But I guess to your career at Demeter might be more appropriate.
Thank you.
No, I believe a college should be a place for open communication and not just of ideas. We should be aware of each other's endeavors, their passions. I try to keep in touch with, at least meet, new members of the family. Make sure we have an environment where all of our children can thrive.
That would make you the den mother.
Interesting, like a mother bear. Mr. Falcon.
Please, call me Hal.
Okay. Hal.
And may I call you Miriam?
By all means. Hal, I looked you up in the directory as well. You are quite accomplished. Kennedy Center Award, nominated for a Carnegie Mellon Ed.
I'm blushing. But really, awards don't mean much to me. It's more about students.
Yeah, that is so right. That's where the real prize or conquest really is. Where it really lies, don't you think?
Again, interesting way to put it.
Why did you leave Europa? It's a fine department.
You, know people there?
Oh no. But I try to keep up with the theater world. And you are obviously successful there.
Again, thank you. But I wanted to try my skills at a university. Honestly, maybe work toward tenure. Do you have an interest in theater?
I acted in my youth.
Did you ever wish you had pursued it there further?
You assume I didn't?
Oh,
I don't talk about it as a rule, but I had a few off-Broadway roles. Lady Macbeth, Portia, Broadway understudy, and Virginia Woolf.
I am impressed. Why'd you give it up?
Family responsibilities. I never regretted my choice, though.
Say, would you be interested in doing some acting now?
I am.
Really? That's great. Because I've got a role that requires a little more mature.
Oh, no. I am acting now.
What?
I'm acting like we're having a collegial conversation. I was hoping we could have a more, shall we say, significant relationship.
I don't know what this is about, but I like it.
Bet you don't have time for this.
Oh, I so have time for this.
No, you so don't.
I don't?
To mold me, to groom me, as an actor to swoop down and make me one of your conquests.
Listen, Dr. Grant, maybe I should go. I mean, it's been great, but I
What? We're not friends anymore? Call me Judith, please.
Judith? I just don't quite.
May I call you Hole?
What?
Like Holofernes?
What?
Like asshole?
Yeah, this is too weird.
No, you're right. You should go home. You have to start packing.
What?
You're fired.
What?
You're fired.
Is this some kind of
No, it's no kind of joke.
You are women's studies. You have no say over me.
I am, but I am also the chair of the Board of Faculty Retention. Didn't you notice that in your directory? No? Well, I am. And we have voted, and we will begin to execute your termination.
I have a contract.
Provisional. And you have screwed that up. You can request a formal hearing. Oh, and you can engage counsel, although it won't help. The vote was unanimous. But hey, it might be fun. Students are encouraged to attend and participate. I'm pretty sure this one will be a standing room-only performance.
I have done nothing wrong.
Oh? You do know that one of your students is dropping out of school.
So? Kids drop out of school all the time.
Well, I spoke to her. She is quite upset.
If this is about Miss Hartnett, I did nothing wrong.
Oh, so you're not completely ignorant. Ms. Hartnett, I'm so formal, so professional. No, technically, you did nothing wrong. You are a skilled hunter, deadly, with minimal risk. At Europa, it took you 4 years before you were encouraged to tender your resignation. Tender. It sounds so gentle.
She was very willing. Seller's remorse.
Yeah, was she selling something?
You can't fire me for that.
No. Sadly, I can't. Although I wish I could do much more than that. No, you will be fired for the recent blow-up in your class over a student's project.
What? John Hanson? He had an assignment. He didn't follow directions.
A teacher throws a tantrum because a student doesn't follow directions? In what world?
He was very disrespectful, and it wasn't a tantrum.
7 students withdrew from your class because of it.
What?
Oh, you didn't know that? Well, here are the withdrawal slips. And we have the iPhone recording. It was indeed a tantrum of scorched earth proportions. Do you want to see it? Because it is very, very dramatic.
I will fight this. I have done nothing wrong.
Yeah, please do. I'd love to see you at that hearing. In court. In hell. Did you know that in the last 24 hours, your name has been scrawled on every women's bathroom on campus and a few of the men's?
What?
Yeah, a predator alert.
That's outrageous. You cannot countenance this. It's a violation of my rights.
Oh, we're aware of that. We've been quite diligent about scrubbing them clean. But they just keep coming back. The school is sending out a notice this afternoon. Turns out that payback is a bitch, or bitches in this case. But I'll be happy to give you a reference.
I'm sure you would.
No, you're right. I'm pretty sure this will be your last teaching position.
If you are thinking of slandering me, I will look.
Slander is so despicable and unnecessary. I understand that as we speak, your name is being scrawled on women's rooms' walls in every drama department in the Northeast. Somehow it spread from here to Europa to Ganymede, your previous hunting ground. No? An impromptu write-in, make that write out campaign. I'm guessing you'll go viral. Tweets and posts and blogs and Instagrams and who knows what all those kids are into these days. And let's check, shall we? Yes, here it is. Oh, you have your own Facebook page. Oh, my, you're going viral as we speak. We will, of course, make sure that's taken down, if we can. Facebook is so finicky about deleting posts. But in the meantime, consider yourself fucked.
Please. This will ruin me. My family.
Now, why doesn't it surprise me that you have a family? A son and a daughter?
I'll speak to her.
Who?
Jennifer. I can straighten this out. She'll listen to me. Hugh wants her in at Tivoli.
Hugh.
The playwright for the Artemisia role.
Oh, yes, Hugh. Well, he might find that he has trouble getting a reading anywhere now.
He's reading at Tivoli.
Yeah,
I believe that was canceled.
They're probably informing him right now.
I can still speak to her. You can't stop me.
I can't.
No, you can't.
I most certainly can. But I'll see if she will.
Well, that's not for you to decide.
Jennifer, are you up for this?
I am.
Speak!
No. Privately.
Not a chance in hell.
Sorry. Jennifer, please. I am sorry. We just got carried away. We didn't mean to hurt you. I mean, I thought you were okay with it. Please, come back to class. It may take you a while to be comfortable again, but we can work together. You are so talented, so promising. And I can teach you so much. I know so many people in the theater world. Look, I made a mistake. I'm sorry. We were both a little wrong.
We both?
All of us. Q wants to work with you in the play. Jennifer, you didn't say no. I didn't know you were upset. When you left, we even planned to meet again. We kissed.
No. You kissed me. You said we'd meet again. I spent the whole night washing myself. Every place you touched me, you gargling over and over, but I can't get the touch, the taste. I can't even.
Hey, Jennifer, please. I'm sorry. This is not. You don't know what this is gonna do to me.
This conversation is over.
Please, just think about it, please.
Go!
Miriam opens the door.
Go or I'll call security.
Please, Jennifer, come to the hearing. You could say it was just a misunderstanding, please.
Miriam picks up the phone.
You bitch! You cannot do this! I'm going to sue you personally and this school. I did nothing wrong. I will destroy you.
Mr. Falcon, I will definitely be at the hearing,
Jennifer.
and I will testify against you.
You what? After I offered you ungrateful, no talent, you will never be anything more than...
Miriam and John step up alongside her. Lights change. Hal looks to the audience as if at a hearing. Miriam is voiceover in court.
Mr. Hanson, do you have anything else you wish to say?
John in voiceover.
No, Dr. Burke. I do not.
Miss Hartnett, do you have anything else you wish to say?
Jennifer in voiceover.
I don't.
We thank our students for their participation, their dedication, and their courage.
Painting of Judith saying Holofernes is projected. Jennifer and Miriam don full dress as Judith and Abra, Judith's handmaiden. Abra lays skins on the couch. Judith lays Hal on skin and kisses him. She gives him a cup of wine. He drinks. She kisses him again. He drinks again, fully, and slumps, drunk. She rises.
O Lord God of all power, look on this, the work of my hand, for the exaltation of your children. Strengthen me this day, for now is the time to execute thine enterprise to the destruction of our enemies.
She takes a scimitar and grabs Hal's hair. He struggles and is about to overpower her. Jennifer pushes him down.
The committee finds unanimously for the termination of the contract of Mr. Hal Falcon.
Miriam smites him twice in slow motion, decapitating him. The scene freezes as painting of Judith and Abra putting the head of Holofernes in a bag. Sound off stage. They alert. Quentin as Holofernes. An officer enters, lunges at Judith, raises a sword, and is about to overcome and slay her. Jennifer as Abra grabs his arm.
No.
Quentin turns and pushes her down and raises a sword over Judith and is about to slay her. Jennifer rises, takes the dagger out of the sheath, and grabs him from behind by the hair.
No!
She slits his throat. He falls, losing the costume piece. She stands over his writhing body for a moment. Lights out on Hal and Quentin.
I said no.
You did. He's gone. You'll stay?
I don't know.
Please, just at least for the weekend. I'll talk.
Pause with the slow projection of the moonrise with reflection on the water.
John? The moon. It's full tonight.
It is. Selena?
Yeah?